So today I wanted to try and answer some questions a lot of people may or may not think to ask. I'm kind of trying to put together something I can give to my customers. I've already mentioned this in the past, what to expect when remodeling. All right, so the first paragraph is fairly interesting, simple rather. Okay, so you go to remodel your house. What are you going to start first? How do you start? Who do you talk to? Do you need an architect? Do you need an engineer? What about permits? Do you need them? What if you don't want them? Whose responsibility is it to get permits? Do you need drawings? Can you get bids without drawings? How detailed do the drawings need to be? RTI. How do you look at this? So a lot of people, when they start a remodel, go, hey, I want to fix my bathroom. I want to do my kitchen. I want to do my basement. I want to add a bedroom with a bathroom. I want to take a closet and make it bigger. There's a lot of factors involved with that. And I've kind of got three categories. I'd like just a general concept of which one should I do. We've got bathrooms, kitchens, and basements. Anybody? Kitchen?
Yes.
All right, let's do kitchens. All right. So the questions I have here, and this is just a list of questions, nothing more, 3 pages of questions. How should I start? How long should your kitchen remodel take? So a kitchen remodel on average is going to take about a month. And there's going to be at least 2 to 3 weeks where you probably won't have a kitchen. And this is something that most people don't realize. Like, I want to remodel my kitchen. It's like, well, we're going to tear this whole thing down to the studs. You're going to be without a kitchen for the duration until we actually have a countertop in. So you're probably going to be looking at about a minimum of 3 weeks with no kitchen, so prepare to eat out. And a lot of people don't realize that eating out is a real pain in the rear. So, question number 1 there. I apologize, I never set the timer. Would you mind? That's about a minute in.
I can do it. Don't worry.
You sure?
Yeah,
okay, we've got about a minute in, so figure 7. Average cost. How much does an average kitchen remodel cost? On average, kitchen remodels start about $35 and go up. So a regular kitchen
35 bucks?
35 grand and go up. So average countertops are about 4.5 grand for a kitchen. Cabinetry usually runs about 15 to 25, sometimes 30, sometimes 40,000, depending on your kitchen itself. And it's the cabinetry that takes the majority of your cost. Okay. Do you need a contractor? Big question. The answer is recommended. Now, I know a lot of people that are their own contractor. They bring in different people to do the various work, and they try and general contract the whole thing. And if you've got the time, that's wonderful. You save yourself a good, easily 20% of the job cost, depending on what it is, because there's my labor. If you can do the labor itself, like demolition and stuff like that, you'll save at least $1 grand or 2 just on demolition. But I recommend it very much. How many trades would you expect in a kitchen remodel? Let's list them off. You're going to have cabinetry, you're going to have countertops, you're going to have electrical, you're going to have plumbing, you're probably going to have HVAC. Okay, at that point in time, you come to the manual labor for demolition, for framing, you're going to have a sheetrock contractor. So there's a minimum of 6 different specific trades, plus the general labor to move things around, tear things out, put things back. You're going to have at least probably about $600 to $700 just in debris removal. That's the cost of getting rid of the debris, not the labor to take it out. Okay. How long do cabinets take to get? Now, this is something that always gets people. I say, I'd like to do my kitchen remodel, I'd like to start next month. I go, well, do you realize that from the time that you started looking at your cabinets to the time you actually get your cabinets, it's an average of 6 to 8 weeks. That's before the cabinets even show up. So if you're looking to start your remodel next month, you should have started planning a month ago. You should have started that process a month ago. I recommend about a 3-month lead time on kitchens because there's a lot of decisions to be made. Hardware can take a month to get just by itself, and that's the cabinet knobs, pulls, etc. Should I go custom, quote unquote, or off the shelf? What's the difference? So off the shelf means you can go to a box store and you can pick up cabinets left, right, you pick them out, they're pre-sized. And if you've got a kitchen that happens to be 106 1/2 inch, and you buy off the cabinet, off the floor shelving boxes and stuff like that, you're going to wind up with gaps. You're going to wind up having to figure out, how do I tie these together so I don't wind up with a weird gap at one end or the other? How can I shift things over so that my sink lines up with the center of the window instead of taking the window out and moving the window? And I've had kitchen remodels that want me to literally move the window over. I've done it. And that's just a matter of planning. You've got to be able to look ahead, think ahead. Custom means that you're going to get a guy that comes in, measures the entire kitchen, He will draw it out on either a computer program or on a graph paper, and he will literally fit the cabinets to the space. He'll figure planning what they call fillers, which are just basically extended stiles one side or the other. You can cut them down. If your walls are out of plumb, and believe me, there is not a kitchen out there where the walls are not out of plumb, meaning they are not straight up and down, then you're going to have to scribe these things to the wall and then cut angled cuts so that when you put it against the wall, you don't wind up with a huge gap. And so they also do quite often sell what's called scribe molding, which is basically 3/4 inches by 1/4 inch thick stock. And people usually take that stuff and they slap it up against the cabinet, against the wall to cover these gaps that people make when they just don't know what they're doing. So if you've got a guy that knows what he's doing on the cabinetry, he will scribe every single cabinet to the wall. And when you look at this thing, it's going to look like the wall's plumb, even if it isn't. I've always maintained that finished carpentry is the illusion of perfection. Okay, it's an illusion. I guarantee you guys, there's no such thing as a plumb, square, straight house. It just doesn't seem to exist. It's most annoying. Somebody asked me once, why should you use particle board boxes? And I said you shouldn't. Well, there's a reason to use particle board boxes. Okay, particle board boxes are cheap. Okay, they are the least expensive of the cabinets. You can buy a whole kitchen's worth of cabinets for 15 grand or less, 10 grand, whatever. But you're going to wind up with a product that is very hard to install. It's going to take a lot longer to install because it's cheap. Also, a lot of the cabinets have what they call a face frame, which is basically a piece of 1x2 that is mounted to other pieces of 1x2 to create the area the door sticks to, and then that gets mounted to a box. And particle board boxes have no face frames. So what that basically means is that all your doors mount to the inside into particle board, and if something breaks, you're screwed because the screws that go into the particle board will literally blow it out, and you'll never be able to get a screw in there again. Also, if particle board gets wet, you might as well throw it away because it expands, and once it expands, it will not contract. So particle board is an option for those people who are on a really, really, really tight budget. Thank you. What kind of materials are appropriate for countertops? Now,
one question, how about refinishing cabinets?
Refinishing cabinets is the purview of a painter. I've done it. Believe me, I've done it. It's a pain in the rear. Average cost to sand, basically you have to pull the doors, set them aside, then you have to sand the face frames, you have to sand the insides, you have to basically mask off the inside, mask off the entire kitchen, and then you can come in and you can spray. So it takes about a week to really finish cabinets correctly because you have to basically sit there, sand the whole thing down, tack it down, vacuum it out, then come in and spray it with 2-3 coats. Then you have to take the doors either off-site or set up a rack, and you have to basically spray the doors.
Or getting new doors.
New doors?
And putting veneer down?
Veneer is okay, other than the fact that it tends to peel when it gets moist. And when you're in a kitchen with ovens, microwaves, tea kettles, pots over a stove, and various other things, the moisture tends to build up, and it tends to cause laminates to delaminate. So it can be done, definitely, and if it's done right, you're fine. Make sure the person doing the laminate has the original formula for the laminating glue. There's a water-based, low VOC version that, in my opinion, is not worth using. If you get the original stuff, it reeks. I mean, you have to wear a respirator and you have to clear the house because the stuff will literally knock you for 6, but it does work very, very well. And it's also a lot less liable to peel. But refacing is definitely an option. It's a lot cheaper than doing the cabinetry. The biggest expense in cabinets, by the way, is not the cabinets, it's the doors. And if you were to purchase a set of doors, you'd spend almost as much as you would for a set of cabinets because the doors are what take all the labor. They got different styles, they got arches, square, they've got multiple profiles. All that stuff takes time, and that is the biggest cost in your cabinets is the doors. Boxes, they throw them together in a half an hour. The doors take a lot longer. What do we have? Done? Well, guys, I appreciate your time this morning, and thank you very much. And once again, power teams, definitely something to look at. I was remiss when I said who we have. We've got cleaning, painting, HVAC, electrical, landscaping. We've got the general contractor, and we also have a property maintenance manager. These are all people that you can get together with to help pass business to each other and also pass business to the group. So by all means, think with that.